Hey, this is Chris from Guitar Me, and this isn't going to be like my normal lessons each week. I had a much cooler, larger lesson planned, and when I went to kind of dive into it and start thinking about how I'm going to record it and all the different riffs I was going to include, I realized that it's going to take a lot more. I can't just get it done in one day. So I decided I need to come up with something else. So I thought, hey, maybe I should write a guitar solo. Maybe that might be a fun little project. So that's what you just listened to. I created everything from scratch. I had to come up with an idea for a backing track, the chords, the rhythm, the bass, the drums, and it all took about an hour. So it was kind of fun to do. I haven't written a guitar solo in a little while, so it was a little bit of a challenge to come up with that. So I'm going to tell you how I kind of came up with it, how I recorded it, and give you the opportunity to take a solo over it if you'd like. All right, so I'm starting from scratch. I have nothing when I'm starting. So I thought, what do I want the background music to sound like? So I thought maybe kind of an 80s kind of vibe. I was thinking sort of in the vein of Dokken, but it doesn't really matter, just 80s. So I decided to do something. At first I was doing something with E. Something like that. And then I ended up scrapping that, and then I ended up just doing kind of pedaling with an A. So in my brain, I'm thinking out of A minor. So this is the rhythm for the backing track is. So what I'm doing is I'm starting with an A chord, then going up here playing a G5 power chord, the G and D here. It's basically like a flat 7 power chord instead of playing G down here, I'm playing it up here on the 4th string. Am I playing like this note right here? This note here, it's a C sharp. That's not in A minor. I usually don't really care about wrong and right notes when I'm creating something. I am keeping in mind the A minor scale. I am keeping that in mind, but I don't let that kind of cage me in. I'll try wrong notes to see if I like them. Like I kind of like that's really wrong, but it, depending on how you use it, it could work out well. So I decided to go. And then I thought, well, what if I just take that and move it down a whole step? I thought that would sound probably pretty cool. And since we're in A minor, I'm going from a G power chord, which is your flat 7, down to an F power chord, which is your flat 6 chord. So I figured that's enough in the A minor scale. I think I can get away with it. So I ended up going. I just made that pattern up. It sounded kind of cool. At first when I first started recording, I was doing all different kinds of things. And then I thought, hey, just relax, settle down, get something that you can consistently do instead of always creating new different rhythms. And then maybe just whatever you did here, just repeat it down here. Or change it slightly. So basically that's how I came up with the rhythm track underneath that I was going to solo over. So I created my rhythm part that I'm going to use. Now I needed to come up with some drums and bass. To me, when I would create a little backing track, this was always the most painful section because I'm not a drummer. So I have to use drum loops or just anything that I can that sounds like a drummer. So believe it or not, for me to do the drums and the bass took maybe not even 5 minutes, which is kind of crazy because I'll put pictures up here as I'm talking. I used from Toontrack EZ-Drummer 3. Basically, I did a hard rock kit, and I believe these were recorded by Bob Rock, so they sound fantastic. And I just looked at a verse section and just picked out one of the grooves that worked with this. A lot of times what I do is I pick out the groove and then I'll play along with it and see, does that sound right? Does that seem to make sense? They had more complicated drum parts, but I thought the one I picked sound more basic. I thought it fit, like it would fit the song better. So that's what I used. And that EZ-Drummer 3, if you've never seen it, it's pretty incredible. It's so easy to drag and drop drums in. And then sometimes if I'm doing a guitar riff for a specific song, you can just go into the MIDI editor and kind of edit I don't even edit. So a lot of times I just put in the drum section, the drum parts. It sounds like that would be really hard, but it's actually kind of fun, and you can do it pretty quickly. And then you can go in and randomize the velocity, how hard each, the snares getting hit. You can put like a human feel on it, and you can kind of mess with it a little, and you can make it so not everything is exactly perfectly played. You can mess with the timing a little or the swing. So it's pretty cool. It makes it very easy. Of course, you don't want to replace a drummer, but if you're at home and you just need something really quick, it works perfect. And for the bass guitar, I use, once again, another Toontrack product. I'm not sponsored. I just like these products. I used Easy Bass. So basically, I just went in and I picked I don't think I used the modern one. I think I used the pre-bass or whatever. It's like a more vintage sounding bass. I was going to make the bass line maybe a little fancier, but I just decided to go with just straight eighths, just straight eighths on with an open A the whole way through it, thinking that I was going to go back and fancy it up a bit, but I ended up just go ahead and just sticking with that because I thought it was kind of nice. It didn't get in the way. So I'll show you the pictures here. It's pretty easy. I was able to kind of create that in about 30 seconds, that bass line. It takes a little while to get used to using it, but once you do get used to it, it's super easy and it's a lot of fun. I also have a bass as well, and I find that if I can create the bass line in under 30 seconds, I can create the bass line quicker than I could go over and get my bass and sit down and plug it in. Sometimes when I create the bass line, if I'm going to do something other than just straight eighths, I do keep my bass on me, and I'll play the note on the bass just to make sure I'm, getting the right octave when I'm kind of putting in the MIDI, because I'm not a piano player. I know how to play piano, but I don't do it a lot. So, I don't know what C1 is or, that kind of thing. All right, that's what I used to create the bass line. Let's go ahead and take a look at how I created the lead. Why don't we go ahead and listen to the solo one more time before I talk about how I created it and show you how I played it. All right, so when you go to create a guitar solo, it's a little daunting at first because if you have absolutely no idea what you're going to record, what you're going to play. So basically how I do it is I just start messing around. I just record, I record in Pro Tools, and I just run the backing track, and I just start screwing around, messing around, and trying to see if anything, does anything sound cool, anything interesting. I started off by doing something like this. And I thought, I really like that. That sounds really cool. But I think I did something like that in another guitar solo. So I was like, well, I don't want to do that again. So you just keep messing around. Sometimes I'd like to just go nuts, just have fun and do not think at all. And then listen back and see, is there anything in there that I liked? And for whatever reason, I have no idea why I decided to do double stops. I think it's weird to start a guitar solo with double stops. So basically what I'm doing here is when I start, I'm just taking this A and this C here, or a root and a flat third in A, and going. And I even hybrid pick it. I thought that was kind of cool. This finger was killing me, my middle finger, after noodle around with this for about a half hour, because I don't do a lot of hybrid picking in a given day. So I did this. And something about that, I thought it was different. I thought it was kind of interesting, so I decided to keep that. So I start with that. So after that, I go. I don't remember in the recording if I get quite that squeal, but I'm starting here on this D here, which is a 4 in A minor. 1, 2, flat 3, 4. So I thought maybe if I did a pinch harmonic or a squeal, I thought it'd be kind of a little more exciting than just going. That doesn't sound as 80s rocking as I would like, so I'm doing just a pinch harmonic. And every time I go to play, it's a little different. So far I have. And this is just going down the A minor scale: 4, flat 3, 2, 1. And I pull it off. These notes are all pulled up. I don't pull off this note because I'm going to a new string. And then after that, I go. I like the idea of patterns. When you play a pattern, I think it pops out to someone more, their ears. So I try to go. I was going to do something like that. I just didn't have enough time. So you have to basically work within the time frame you have. Basically what I was doing for each set of the... basically one time through that pattern, I was coming up with an idea. So this is what I was able to fit in. I'm picking some of it, and then all this at the end here, I'm just sliding from note to note. So I had that, and then I wasn't sure what I wanted to do next. So I was trying out, all different kinds of things, and then I just started going like an arpeggio, and I thought, that could sound interesting. Could I do something with that would sound kind of cool and organized? I kind of can't stand just solos that are just kind of rambling, where you can tell the guitar player kind of isn't really thinking about what he's doing. So I wanted something that sounded a little more organized. So I ended up using this A minor arpeggio. For me, this is third position for A minor. Right there. So like you have A here, then you have C, which is the flat third, and then E, which is the fifth. That's your 1, 3, 5. And then you can get this E here, which is a fifth down there. So I believe I'm going... I think I only do that one time. The timing wise, I needed to... I doubled up with this. Just for timing wise to make it fit. So I'm basically kind of doing it twice. So that's A minor. And then since I was kind of going from G. It's not even like I was on A, but I was going a whole step down. So I thought I'll go a whole step down. So I went a whole step down, and in the key of A minor, G major is the flat 7 chord. So then I decided to do, instead of doing G minor, which wouldn't make sense, I did a G major arpeggio. So that made sense. And then I thought, well, what could I do next? I could go to F major, but for some reason I accidentally went to, instead of going down to here, I went to E, which is the fifth of A. So that's what I ended up doing. So if I play through that section slowly, I ended up with... It's either that or something pretty close to that. So I thought that was kind of a neat idea, because it's like 3/4 of the way through the solo and it's a pattern. It's pretty common stuff, really. But I thought it sounded kind of cool, so I thought I'd put it in there. And then the next section, I wanted to... I did want to do something. I thought this would be cool to go. Do something like that. And then do a really quick run down to the root A. But I just didn't have enough time. I tried it and I just couldn't fit it in there. So I just figured I'm after... I was basically just going to make it fit. I was basically going to go up here to this F, come down an A minor scale, and end up on that A. And so I did. I think I did a little trill, really quick little, I don't know if that's a trill. What is that? Whatever you call it. I did a little of that, and then I just, flew down to A and then started the next section. So like that was really the section where I didn't really have anything really definitively planned exactly how I was doing it. I just needed to make it fit. All right. And the last section, what I did is one of the times I was just playing through the solo and I was just screwing around. I did something like that, and that kind of jumped out at me. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't even know why I played it. I have no idea. It just kind of popped out, and then I thought, wonder if I could use that. So then what I'm doing is I'm going... It's basically just an A minor arpeggio. I'm going A, this is 1, 5, back to 1, then G, which is flat 7, E, which is 5, and then C, which is flat 3, 1. So that's an A minor arpeggio. So I wanted to do sometimes I like playing kind of stuff that's funky, so, or real rhythmic, so I thought this might pop out. I don't think in the recording you can hear it super clearly. I probably should have mixed it better, but that's what I'm doing. So I do that once. And then the second time I get... I don't know if I cleanly play that G in the solo, but I decided to put my pinky down and do these double stops. I don't know why. So it goes. I thought it kind of sounded neat to do these. They're double stops. They're fourths. So I'm sliding from 10 to 12. Then coming back to G, E. So since I was kind of enjoying those double stops, I decided to do something like that at the end. And this ending part was something that in one of those takes where I was just screwing around, just messing around, see if I can accidentally come up with something. And this ending I did off the top of my head and not paying attention even what I was doing. And I thought, hey, that was kind of an interesting way to end it. So I'm doing all double stops. I'm going... So like that's a little weird, and I think the timing, I think I'm doing maybe quarter note triplets. I'd have to listen to it. I didn't tab it out yet. So I checked this out after I did it. I'm like, are those notes even correct? And they basically are. I'm going, like, this is the position number 1, A minor. So I'm basically kind of going up the scale, going 1, I'm going 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. I don't know why I decided to go back down. I thought maybe I already did the pattern twice of going up in 3s. So maybe I like to mix patterns up, so I came back down, and then I just went back up. And when I did it, the timing worked out just right. It sounds a little strange, a little odd, but I thought, hey, who cares? It kind of, it was different. It sounded different to me, so I went ahead and that's basically how I ended up with the last phrase of the solo. So now that I played my guitar solo for you and showed you how I created it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the audio, take my lead out, and then I'm just going to loop it a couple times so that you can do your own soloing over top of it. I'm also going to give you the audio without the lead so that you can download it and, bring it into your recording software, your DAW, and go ahead and do a solo if you want. So the link's going to be down in the description, how you can go ahead and get that free music. And if you want, it'd be really awesome if you did a solo, if you posted the video and put a link, left a comment and left a link to it, or you can always email me your solo. I would love to hear different people's takes on it, because I just pretty much, made mine up. I'll be honest, I spent maybe about an hour noodling around with my solo, and it came out okay. It doesn't rock my world, but it was a finished product. I like to give myself like a limited amount of time and make myself finish something. If not, I'll just noodle endlessly and never be happy with it. So if you give yourself like an hour, at least that way at the end you have something that you did. And if you don't care for it, then maybe the next one will be better. So, if you get a chance, leave a comment or anything down below. I would love to hear anyone's solo or take on it. That would be awesome. If you like this impromptu video and you'd like to see more things like this, leave a comment, let me know. This wasn't near as organized as some of my other videos. I'm just kind of doing this on the fly here, and if you like this channel, make sure you subscribe. That would be awesome, and I'll see you in the next video.